Doug Carlson.
And I'm Lenny Lenningson.
With the Pi 3.14 news.
It's gonna rain!
And that's it for your weather today, folks. Some rain a little later on, and snow possibly later this week. Well, what's new and exciting today, Bob?
There was a fire.
And it was hot!
Go.
And we're going to cut to a commercial. We'll be back in a few minutes.
I love these commercials, Bob.
I know, Bill. I know.
Gosh, I sure am bored.
Well, hello there, little girl. You look rather bored.
What are you doing in my house?
You should try this wonderful game, Axis and Allies, produced by
Avalon Hill.
and created by...
Larry Harris.
It sure is a fun game. Wouldn't you love to play?
No, as a matter of fact I would. Now looking at this box, I want to play so bad I cannot believe how bad I want to play.
I like fire. And today for the sports announcements. Oh, who's this strapping young lad? I'm the damsel in distress.
Good evening, my fellow Americans. My topic is the upcoming presidential debate. Because I shall be arrested after the hijacking of this news station, you may call me Prometheus. We all know who your first pick for presidential candidate is. Me. However, you must decide between two new leaders of the free world. John Fitzgerald Kennedy or Richard Milhous Nixon. To become director of a country, one must have certain characteristics. And over a short period of time, it's become apparent to my associates and I that Richard Milhous Nixon does not possess these characteristics. He is an uncharismatic automaton who will not only run this country into the ground, but rule us like a king. This is not the Legion of Franks, and we need more than just a Charlemagne. Although they may seem similar in platform, they are nothing alike in integrity. At this particular moment in the Cold War, we are not in need of an aggressive opposition. This could send us into the dire straits. Nixon wants to build forces for an oppression of brinkmanship. JFK wants to build our military to make sure not only to strike fear in the hearts of our opponents, but to show that we are too fortified to strike. The situation on the Red Front is frosty and touchy at best. We do not need a warmongering Genghis Khan to take on the Soviets. Because remember that although we are at an economic apex and financial stability, this could drop any time. We do not need another war. We need a man like JFK to show the veracity that the original America once represented. We do not need another war. We need a man like JFK to show the veracity that the original America once represented. And not to go to war, but be kind in our methods and expect a kind response, and it will be blatantly obvious that anyone who attacks us will fall. Communism we should not fear at this time, but instead reopen our relations with our once grand ally Russia. Now, of course, we must address the issue of Kennedy's Catholic roots. Although most of the nation see this as an impending doom for our homeland, we must take into consideration that Kennedy hears the voice of the people before his own. And we must show that religious persecution, regardless of affiliation, must not be present here in the United States, and we can use this as an enlightening experience. His allegiance lies with America, not with the Pope. Nixon's reign as president would be futile at best. He is improbable as a ruler, unmethodical, and quite a ghastly person. Why, Nixon as president is about as likely as future President JFK making a social faux pas in Germany. But on a serious note, in just the image and appearance alone, why we can see that JFK is fit to be president. He does not have the wrinkling fatigue of age and a stern face of an old mule that would frighten the Soviets away from an alliance. I mean, honestly, who could trust a man with a nose like a cucumber? I know I wouldn't. Seriously, he could poke a hole in a brick wall if he stumbled. As the SWAT team barrels through the lower levels of this building, they're coming for me as their captive as we speak. I leave you with a few simple words and kind gestures to assist you on your plight come election day. You will receive a free bumper sticker saying, "I love Kennedy," upon the government receiving your ballot. And know, for those of you that are frightened by me hijacking a TV station, that I am not affiliated with the Democratic Party or JFK. I am doing this of my own free will to help you make a wise decision this election. So remember, ask questions, trust no one, and don't forget, Big Brother is watching, and I take my leave.
God, you know what, Jim? I hate this job. Good evening, I'm Ted Harris with the Channel 12 News.
Stop that.
You're beautiful.
What's up with it?
You know what, Kurt? I've had it just about up to here with you, okay? Yeah. No. I don't think so. You know what? I can't take it. I can't. Yeah.